Hey y'all, welcome back to Neon's Movie Reviews. I'm Neon, this is my review channel. Today I'm talking about A Score to Settle, directed by Shawn Ku. And yeah, before I dive into that, I just want to say if you enjoy my content, please give this video a like, really helps out my channel. And we're a couple weeks into the Summer of Nic Cage, still got a couple more weeks of this so I gotta go through. But if you want to see a lot more content like this, go ahead and subscribe, and go ahead and hit the bell in the corner if you want to get a notification. But yeah, Score to Settle. This is a film I'm very conflicted on. It's a basic revenge film. Basic plot is that Nicolas Cage he went to prison for 19 years. He was a mob enforcer. He basically did his part, and while he was in there, finds out that his family, his wife has died. All this stuff has happened, and now he's going after his old mobster buddies, and but a relationship with his son is starting to blossom now that he's back out, and that's the only thing kind of keeping him away from this warpath. What this film does, like the things that this type of movie should do, the gritty revenge action movie, the gore, all that kind of stuff, this film fucking sucks at it. It does not do any of the revenge stuff well at all, but it does a really good job with all the other stuff that's not dealt with in these types of movies. The relationship with the son is all right. It's a high point within this film, but it's not the best in terms of actual character development. But in terms of this film and how these types of characters are presented, it's pretty decent. Nic Cage is actually doing a lot with this role, or not a lot, but he's doing more than this role calls for. Something that I found unique, and it kind of set a unique stage for the film that I was very curious how they were going to play with this as the film went on. But right off the bat, the whole reason that he's getting out of prison is because he's got a terminal condition. It's a terminal form of insomnia. Basically, he cannot sleep, and he's dying because of it. If he doesn't take these medications that'll help him sleep, he'll start hallucinating, all this stuff will happen, and death eventually. So I was like, ooh, that's a good setup. Like, he's going on this revenge mission, hasn't been out of prison in 20 years. Okay, and he can't trust his own sights. All right, I'm intrigued to see what they're going to do with this. And they had a lot of fun with that. That's probably the best part of this whole movie. But again, the actual revenge drama of this movie is not that compelling. The most compelling part of it is revealed in the third act, but by that point, it's kind of moot. It's a fun twist, but the emotional effect is pretty moot. Yeah, it's a mixed bag for me. All in all, I would give this film a 5 out of 10. It really wasn't that bad of a movie. The action and the shootouts and everything were pretty unspectacular. They were all very flat and very uninteresting. There was one kill that I did really enjoy. It's just a very simple scene. It's camera is like far back. You see the two characters. Nic Cage is his gun in the other one's face. You see the other one from the side and part of his back of his head. Pulls the trigger. You see the exit wound. He falls down to the ground. It's all done in an unbroken shot. Nic Cage is just standing there looking down at him. You see the blood start pooling out from the body, going away from it, and then Nic Cage turns and walks away. And that was one of the first scenes of violence in the film. Like there's some old violence that's shown in flashbacks, and it's disturbing, it's brutal, but it's not directly shown. This is the first one that was just like, ooh, ooh, okay, cool. We're not going to glamorize this. We're not going to have anything big and fun. It's going to be much more fast, much more just boom. That's it. And so I was very excited. That's not how the rest of the movie is. Yeah, that's another big issue of mine is how the violence from there on out is portrayed goes against how the violence was portrayed in that opening scene of actual violence. So, yeah. But that scene was really cool. That scene was really fun. Yeah, like I said, all in all, give this a 5 out of 10. It's not a bad movie. Not the greatest movie, though. Nicolas Cage, like I did say, he is doing a pretty decent job. He is trying here. Benjamin Bratt is fine in it. He doesn't really do anything special. Doesn't do anything bad with it either, though. Like, so he's fine. Everybody else does their part. The son, I can't think of the actor's name, but he did a pretty decent job. Yeah, like, if you haven't seen this and you're into Nick Cage doing some really weird shit with his face through 90% of it, it's a good movie to watch Nick Cage. It's a good bad Nick Cage movie. I'll put it that way. But in terms of an actual movie, it's middle of the road. If it wasn't for Nick Cage and it wasn't for what they were doing with the plot, this film would be probably a 1 or a 2. It would be really bad. But having the caliber of Nick Cage and Benjamin Bratt in here, along with what Nick Cage is doing, and then kind of that how they do present this film and what they do with some of the story elements, it does elevate it to be much better than it should have been. But at the same time, still a letdown because what it should have been was a core revenge film, and it failed at being a core revenge, just a basic revenge movie. So, mixed bag. But that's going to wrap this up. I've got weird movie I'd never really even heard of coming up next. Zandali, I think it's called. Some weird love triangle sex thriller with Nick Cage and Judge Reinhold, and I can't think of the girl's name, but hopefully it's better than this. But we'll find out next time. See y'all.